Formula One to World Rally and from IndyCar to sports car racing, this season we're taking star drivers down memory lane and back to that crucial first victory. Australian Supercars Nick Percat was just a rookie in 2011, and as co-driver to Garth Tander in the number 2 car for the Holden Racing team, his first trip to the Bathurst 1000 was a baptism of fire.
I think I learned a lot the first year I did it with HRT, how quickly that place can bite, and since then, you know, I've had a really good run of podiums, top 5 finishes. And it's one where everyone says it, but it's get the car to lap 100 and then we'll see where we're at. It's one where it's got to be smart and push when it's appropriate. And you know, if it's your day, you end up on the podium, and it definitely feels like it's an event where it nearly chooses you and what you've done that day to reward you.
Now racing as Walkinshaw Andretti United, the Holden Racing team was one of Australia's most successful supercar teams, and in 2011 they were seeking a 5th victory in the series' signature race.
To rock up there with the Holden Racing team, it was a pretty smooth weekend. I think we qualified provisional pole, go out in the top 10 shootout, it starts raining, so we qualify at the back end of the 10. Garth started the race, got us into good contention. And I'll never forget the car coming down pit lane for the first time. Driver change goes well, which was the first tick, and then the first 4 or 5 laps I'm like, I think this is what they call the lunchtime shift. I can just drive it around at like 80%, it'll be enough, and then to get the call like, no mate, you're in car 2 and we're here to win. It was get on with it, and that was the crazy thing.
Oh, in the wall! Percat had a mistake there by being courteous. That's just experience. Because off the racing line at turn 2 at this place, there is no grip, and he's just discovered it the hard way.
And I'll never forget the words of the engineer at the time. During my first stint, it was like, Nick, we need you to go faster. And I was just petrified. Looking back at it, I pinched myself because I was racing against, obviously, Wing Cup all day. And then in the other Triple Eight car, it was Lowndes and Scaife, and now 2 heroes of mine.
Craig Lowndes and Mark Scaife were already established stars, but Percat was just starting his journey and trying to prove himself on the 6.2-kilometre Mount Panorama track.
Driving Bathurst is scary. You never feel like you do the perfect lap, and it doesn't matter if you're fast or slow, the effort to do the lap and the risk level is absolutely huge, and it just feels like you're floating with a little bit of grip, and you're just managing the car to the walls and maximising the track limits you have. And it's one where every time you cross the line, even in the race, you're like, okay, let's gear up for another lap here. It's a wild place.
It was certainly a wild finish in 2011, but with lead driver Tander in the car, Percat could only watch on and hope for the win.
Those the last hour or so when I was back in the pits watching on the monitors, I was getting paler by the moment, realising what was happening and watching Lowndes come at Garth, and I think one of the closest finishes we had at Bathurst at the time.
Legendary finish. This is the year of the rookie and the pro. Tander and Nick Percat are the champions.
Being an Adelaide boy to win it and the first rookie in 30-odd years, it was just seriously unbelievable, but a fairly cool fairy tale for the Holden brand and the team.